Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm pretty much just going to do the lyrics for you. Kind of go through, most of the signs are pretty easy. Some of them you probably already know. Okay. So nothing is a closed hand to an open hand, kind of like you're just throwing something. So nothing can, and that's like S hands, and you just go straight down. Separate, you bend your hands kind of like this, and separate. And even, you're going to start with E hands and hold them together, and they're going to go out basically to N hands. So even. If is I to F really fast, so you're pretty much just, it's called a bounce. You just bounce your F hand. I, run. With this, you're just joining your two L hands, set them on their side, and then you kind of curve and wiggle these fingers. So run. Away is just like this, like you're saying, like, get away. Your, it's just flat hand out. Love. Never. It's supposed to be kind of like a question mark shape, but most people just do never. Fails is a V hand on your left palm, and it slides out. So fails with the S at the end. I know, you just touch your forehead. I still is a Y hand, and it starts about at your hip and pushes forward. So still. For make, you're going to do S hands on top of each other. And they go like this, and then they twist and come down again. So make. Mistakes is a Y hand on the bottom of your chin twice. And then to pluralize it, you add the S. So make mistakes. You have is just flat hands on your shoulders. New, you're going to take this flat hand against this flat hand, kind of scoop it up. So new. Mercy is an M. Your right M touches your heart, and then you have both M's with the right a little bit behind the left one, and they kind of stroke down. So mercy. 4 is a pointer finger at your forehead that comes out. So for me. Every day is a compound sign. It's two signs together. So you do with A hands, you do every. So your right hand strokes down twice on your left thumb. And then day. So every day. Because or cause is comes across like this. Hold on. Yeah. Because your love never fails. You stay is Y hands again that are facing down, and one goes forward, so this one is staying. So stay. The is a Y hand that just goes straight down. Same is D hands that are facing downward and they come together. Same. Let me check that one actually real quick. Sorry. Yeah. Same. Through is flat hands again. Your right hand goes through your left hand. The ages is A against your left flat hand facing right. You're going to touch, circle around, and touch again. And then you add an S to pluralize it. So ages. Your love never. For changes, you're going to have an X on both hands. You start with your right one behind your left one, and they twist. So change, and then again you add the S to pluralize it. There, you're just, it's like you're pointing to a specific location with, or motioning, I guess. So there, may, here's flat hands that are balancing, like maybe, maybe not. So may, B, it's just the letter B, it comes out from your chin, B. Pain is P's on both hands, and they twist. It comes from hurt, which is like this, because if you did this, it would hurt. So P's that twist against each other. In the, for night, your hands are kind of cupped a little bit, and your right one goes over the left one, so night. So in the night. But it's just like that. It's pretty easy. Joy is like happy, but with the J, so joy. Come is like you're telling someone to come here, so come, and then the S to make it plural, comes. In the. Morning is another plural one, because you have to do mourn plus the ing. So this is mourn, yeah, mourn. Be careful you're not doing this. You want to take it a little bit slow. Mourn, and then when your pinky swings out, that's the ing. So morning. And is, your hand is kind of like this. I think of it like a little Pac-Man guy, I guess. But it grabs from your left side and drags to your right side. So, and when, you want to think about time going around on a clock. So you start with index fingers, right facing out, left facing in, and then you just circle around to left facing out and right facing in. When, for oceans, you start with, it's called flat O's, so if this is O, you just flatten them out. And you go over one wave with O's, and then you just make waves with the rest of them, and the S to pluralize it. So oceans. For rage, it's an R hand. Starts kind of by your stomach and comes up. So rage. You want to do it sharply, like meh. Rage. I. Don't is do plus the nt ending, which is an N, and you just flip it back. So do int. Have, again. To, really easy, just index finger to index finger, think of like et. To. Be. Afraid is A hands. You hold them a little bit to your left and kind of shake, and you kind of lean back like you're afraid, like you're trying to stay away from that. So afraid. Because I know. That is an I love you hand on your flat left hand. So that you love me. Your love never fails. The wind is W's on both hands, and they kind of go in the wind. Is just like B, but it's an I from your chin. For strong, you have your left arm out, flat hand on your right hand, and you're gonna, it's like you're tracing a muscle. Strong. And the water is a W that taps on your chin, and to get that apostrophe S, you have an S hand and flip it, kind of like the NT, but you flip it. So waters. Deep is just like you're trying to demonstrate on your left hand that something is deep. But I, with the apostrophe N, is just an N that flips. So I'm. For not, all you do is you have an A hand, set it at the back of your chin, and it comes out. Not. Alone, A, lone. That L just comes around in front, so it's lone. A lone. Here, you're just motioning here. Two flat hands circle around. In these is like that, but it twists. So these. Open is flat B hands that open, pretty easy. Seas is like oceans, but you're going to start with an S instead of an O. So one wave with S and then wave out and add an S to pluralize it. 'Cause your love never fails. Now there's not a sign for chasm, so I had to kind of come up with something. So contextually, what I'm understanding, kind of like a separation. So since this is separate, you just do C's instead. That isn't one they'd want to go out and sign or anything like that, and I wouldn't use it in regular everyday sign language, but just for the purposes of this. So C's facing down, come apart. Is far, you have A hands again. They start together and your right hand arcs forward. Far. 2 is like T-O. So with this one, you're going to have that flat O hand again and meet that index finger. So 2. Wide is W's again. Wide. Just motioning that something is wide. I never. Thought is a past tense word. So you're, with your index finger, you're going to think and then throw it over your shoulder. I'd. Reach is like you have the letter R and it's going to reach across your left palm. Reach. For other, you start with A hand facing down and just flip it over. Other. For side, you have your left hand out like this, facing down. Right flat hand just brushes the side of your hand. Side. But your love never fails. And then for those last couple of lines, you make again with the S hands that hit twice. All, really, you're just spelling all. It's because it goes A to L, but you kind of want to motion all. Things is a right flat hand that goes over a few times. So things with the plural S at the end. Together is T hands. Together, that circle around. Together. For my, and I'm sure you know good is like this. I'm gonna go ahead and sign the whole thing. I'm gonna do it without some of the extra stuff, like the S's at the end, and probably without like the I'm, just do I and stuff like that. And where it says the water's deep, probably just do water deep, which is still, there's kind of an in-between sign language, which is unnecessary for you to know right now, but it's probably easier for the kids to learn a little bit. So nothing can separate, even if I run away. Your love never fails. I know I still make mistakes. You have new mercy for me every day, 'cause your love never fails. You stay the same through the ages. Your love never changes. There may be pain in the night, but joy comes in the morning. And that one you could just do, but joy comes in the morning. And when the oceans rage. I don't have to be afraid. And on that line for don't, if we think, do with the NT is going to be too difficult, we can just do don't. It's kind of more of an ASL thing, but again, it falls with that middle, that pigeon sign English or a case, sometimes is what it's called. But so I don't have to be afraid, or I don't have to be afraid, because I know that you love me. Your love never fails. The wind is strong and the water's deep, but I'm not alone here in these open seas, 'cause your love never fails. The chasm is far too wide. I never thought I'd reach the other side, but your love never fails. You make all things, there's things, work. I don't know if I went over that one. I think I skipped it, but it's just S hands or fists that bump at the wrist. So work together for my good. You make all things work together for my good. That should be it. If you have any questions, just shoot me a text. I can always take like a short video on my phone and try to send it to your phone or something. And then I will try and get there way early on Monday and we can go over it if you want to. Okay, bye.